Welcome to Football Uncut. Of course, I'm Jonah Willett, my partner in crime, Clayton Guillory. Clayton, man, another week of football. A lot of teams talked the talk but didn't walk the walk. When it came down this weekend, you saw a lot of action in Texas this weekend. We saw some teams fly from the West Coast to the East Coast. It was some surprising scores. We'll get into that. We'll talk about some younger age groups, where we think they would be in a ranking system right now if we were dropping the rankings right now. We'll also talk about what's going on in Houston for this weekend. It's about to go down in hot Texas. About to be some serious football. And then we'll wrap up the preseason the following weekend in DMV. Clay, man, the Ricky Sanchez thing was a success. You saw some great football we talked about. But, man, let's kick it off with 13 and under. I'm seeing some lives with coaches with paper bags on their head right now. Some coaches wrote some checks that they ass just couldn't cash, man. So let's talk about what you thought about OG Ducks, which we was curious about, man. We kept saying, Clay, we know what they got on paper. We know what they have as an offensive coordinator, Coach Keefe. We know what Larry and Coach Mike bring as, from 11U to 12U, but now 13U, taking on a team, of course, Real Deal, which already had maybe like 6 or 7 games under their belt, really primed and they really gelled. What was your takeaway from that game where Real Deal just kind of pull it on the OG Ducks in Atlanta this past weekend?
Listen, man, I was totally taken by surprise. I mean, I think you're being very nice with the way that you worded it, Jonah. I mean, or do you bust OG Duck's ass? I mean, from beginning to end. And it was very surprising to me for the simple fact that I thought that OG Duck team this year, right, would be a little bit more dynamic offensively and be able to do some things with Keefe as the offensive coordinator. Because
Right.
if I'm being honest, man, and I hope people don't take this the wrong way or take it as hate or anything like that, because it's not, right? But anytime I say something bad about a team from the West Coast or the OG Ducks, then it's this whole rant that Clayton hates the West Coast, and that's definitely not true. But
Yeah.
after the season that particular team had 2 years ago, where they went undefeated, they went to AYF instead of coming to YNC, and they won the national championship. And they had beat, some good quality teams during the regular season as well, too. And they had crowned themselves pound for pound the best team in that age division. I think that was
Right.
11U. I actually thought that they would do more now that they've stepped outside of that particular arena they were comfortable in, and they're playing more of an independent national schedule and playing at the YNC events, right? Last year, I thought they would do a lot better, right? But, sometimes it takes a year to kind of get accustomed to it. So this year, I thought this was their year. I said, okay, boom.
Right.
They've been spent a year in the YNC circuit, so they see the competition difference, right? They've got a proven offensive coordinator that knows how to get the best out of kids at the 13U and 14U level. The team is filled with talent. And, man, they went to Georgia and they met one of them 1988 Mike Tyson right hooks, fam.
Not the 88 one.
Hey, them 88 ones, man. Them 88 ones.
88 is something serious, boy. That's before he was on coke with Robin.
They met that 1988 Mike Tyson, man.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see if they bounce back. Now, I hadn't talked to Coach Keefe, but I did see some comments online, and he was just kind of talking about, that was their really first opportunity for some real work, and that they still had a lot of things to kind of iron out. But he felt like that they were going to be strong by the end of the year. And I think that if there is a coach to right the ship, especially offensively, Keefe is that guy. But you got to be impressed with RDU did. And the most impressive thing to me is, as coaches, man, sometimes you have a problem checking your own ego. After that loss, what did
Yeah.
RDU do? Coach Nard fired himself as OC. He
Right.
brought somebody else in, bro, and they've been rolling on Yokohama's ever since, man. So a lot of times, man, it's not always the kids, right? And that's proven right now. Right now,
Yeah.
RDU looks good. They are definitely top 4 in the country on my list right now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, man, listen, I think the Ducks will be okay. I think more or less they caught a well-oiled machine, jumped out early. But, I'll give them this. I still give them a shout out because a lot of teams, as we can see, when they feel they're not ready, and it's just preseason work, a lot of teams will bow out of it. And just think about this, Clay. It's preseason work, so you can see what you're working on in the season. But so many coaches get intimidated or taking an L in preseason, they'll refuse to work because they don't want to take a possible loss. So shout out to the
Yep.
OG Ducks, coaching staff, Mike, Larry, Keefe. They didn't care about that. They already knew Real Deal was already revved up. And this is one of their first games coming outside. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to come there. We're going to stand on business and we're going to show up. You know, so they stood on business. They showed up, win, lose, or draw. Nobody will remember
Yep.
that loss if in December they make it to the Final Four, they make it to the top two, because you know what? It's better to take that L on the chin early and motivate your kids to get their ass in gear instead of taking that L all the way in December because you just wanted to kind of protect your preseason vibe. So if I had a choice, Clay, if I was going to sink the ship, let's do it early. Because guess what? I'm going to
Gotcha.
go over that film. We're going to have so much that I'm going to kick your ass about in practice. Look here, man. Because look, it was and listen, I'm not singling out nobody, baby, right? But it was just one lazy play by the wide receiver on a pick six. They wasn't on the same page. He throws a pick six, the wide receiver just looking at his quarterback like what? While the cornerback broke on the ball and did a pick six. So those things you can correct, Clay. That's when you get in the film room. You can talk about it.
Yeah.
But what you can't correct is when your head coaching staff squats to pee.
Oh,
It's a
Vagisil?
problem. Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. So, man.
Oh boy. You know,
So,
Jonah.
hey,
And
again, look. So, Clay, I say this: respect to OG Ducks. Win, lose, or draw, y'all have our respect because you came out there to the East Coast, came out to Georgia, played it, didn't care about win, lose, or draw. Preseason, man, is your time to really get it in. You know, just don't run from the work. You know what I'm saying? If you guys got games set up, y'all got something to go up there. There's no need to say, "Hey, man, I ain't ready for preseason." If you got uniforms, you ready for preseason. Why? We don't care. We're going to win or lose. We're going to get the work in. Now, yes, are we evaluating teams? Clay, absolutely we're evaluating teams because this is how we position the teams. We got to watch them from the beginning of the year with integrity and saying, hey, we actually got to see them. So, yeah, we watching them. But, man, still, we know when you're fully loaded. We know when you got a six-shooter and when you got a machine gun. We know what time it is. We know, for example, Miami got Ravens. They're not fully clipped right now, but we know what they look like when they fully clipped. So we evaluating
yep.
their defense. We're evaluating them without Little Rod, but we ain't taking it to heart to saying this is how the Ravens going to look for the whole 2023 season because we know football. You understand what I'm saying? When Little Rod get back behind that offense, we know it's a different team. And that's just taking one team for example. You understand what I'm saying? So, man, win, lose, or draw, man, y'all get out there, play that football, get it in early for some of y'all leagues, lock you down, and you got to play your regular season. It's time to play some football, Clay.
And you know, you speak some good points because one thing that is running rampant across America is the evolution of the mangina, right? And it is running rampant in youth sports with a lot of these coaches, a lot of these parents, hell, a lot of these league and organization presidents. You know, it's becoming unique to see a man be a man these days, right? Men aren't men anymore, you know. But when it comes to youth football, you have to look yourself in the mirror, Jonah. And I'm like you. I would rather play these big time games in the preseason, know what my team is made of, know what we need to work on, understand what we need to tweak and fix, whether if it's something that I need to fix within myself coaching, or like Coach Nara did, hey, maybe I'm not the guy no more. Somebody else needs to step in and take over, right? Or if I'm gonna take the approach like Coach Keefe, like, okay, I know what I need to fix. Now give me the time to fix it. The thing is, not how good you're playing in August. What do you look like in November and December is how people is going to remember your story, right? And this is just a chapter in that team's story. I do think that OG Ducks is going to come back and still battle back throughout the season, and on 13U will be one of the top 5 or 6 teams in the country. I think they're too talented. Coaching staff has already proved too much for them not to do that. But the question is this, Jonah: how many more? I'm not going to say losses. how many more lessons does another team have to teach you for you to get it? Because here's what's happened nowadays, Jonah. Now when you're losing, it's not about whether you can rebuild. It's about these parents getting mad and taking their kids and going somewhere else. Or when you get to that age level saying, to hell with it, man, we're not even doing youth football this year. Like, nobody wants their child to understand how to overcome adversity. Everybody wants to take their kid and run. I've watched two parents that I know personally switch their kid to three different organizations in the preseason. Not because their kid is not a starter, not because their kid is not getting good coaching, not because their kid not getting development, but because they want their kid on a winning team, and they keep switching them to teams that's taking them Mike Tyson 1988 right hooks across the jaw piece.
Well, bro, I hate to say it, that's the state of youth football right now. The parents are controlling the teams. The head coaches are not controlling the teams. Clay, how many times have we got on the phone? And listen, I know at the end of the day, the parents have to, it's their kids. But at some point as a head coach, man, you got to be like, this is what we doing. This is how we doing it. But how many times we got the phone call, hey, man, when my parents say they ain't want to go to this city. My parents say they ain't want to do this.
God.
My parents ain't say. So God bless them coaches that say, hey, look, it's all about day one. It's like when you date a girl, Clay. You know what I'm saying? You go out day one, you kind of establish what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? If she come out day one, Clay, I need my Louis Vuitton on day one. Bro, you going to be buying Gucci and Louis your entire relationship. Because you set the tone that way, right? Now, you let these parents come out here on day one, right? And tell you, nah, coach, we ain't doing that, coach. We ain't doing that. Oh, okay, it was just, then that's how your team going to be ran. But when you got to make an example out of somebody, and that first mama, that first daddy that open their mouth like that, hey, we ain't doing that. Oh, okay, no, you're right. Y'all ain't doing that. Go ahead, let me get my gear. That's how you got to handle the situation, because that's the only way you're going to have an organization that's going to have one chief. When you got 14 chiefs and 20 chiefs, you get that. So now you're afraid to lose, Clay, because these 14 chiefs right on your neck on the gate when you're trying to call your game, as soon as you take them, they got all the coaching that they want to do after the game. They drop their babies off Monday through Friday. Don't stay to practice. It's babysitting time. Come on Saturday. Now they the coach. And I ain't just talking about mamas now, Clay. I'm talking about them throwback football dads that think they know all the football in the world. Coach, what you running, man? That ain't what my son do. My son don't do that. My son run. Hey, Playboy, what was you Monday through Friday? Where your volunteer badge at? You don't got one of them too, man. Go keep drinking your Hennessy or whatever you doing on the sideline and keep it moving. So coaches, I always tell them when they even come to YNC or to any events, coach, you're responsible for your sideline, because you know your coaches get out of hand. I never forget, man. I don't want to bring up no bad memories for a coach, but I was, and y'all probably know the kid. I don't want to go too deep in it. But his dad name is Tyrone, and his son is a quarterback, and the coach was Sean Moffitt. Next thing, I hear a voice in the background. Hey man, you ain't running the right offense, coach. You ain't running. Now you know Sean Moffitt. Anybody who knew Sean Moffitt back then, well, welcome all. He was a zero tolerance type of coach. Next thing, he trying to come over the fence at the daddy. So, but I respect Coach Sean Moffitt, because let me tell you one thing. What wasn't going to happen on Sean Moffitt's team? No parent was going to be running his team. He'll kick off the most talented quarterback off that team to prove his point. Him do it. But that's old school coaching. Coach P, another one. Coach P, welcome all back in the day. You wasn't finna go over there and tell him how he running his team. So, man, that's what I think youth football is missing right now. So, yeah, you're going to have coaches that's playing scared football or strategic football or strategic scheduling, because they not controlling their team, coach. It's the parents that just, it's like the clone. Everybody talking about Jamie Foxx clone. Some of these coaches clone, man. After they get on them sidelines for 2 or 3 weeks, they ain't the same what they used to be. They done locked them niggas up in the closet and then switched the coaches out. I'm telling you.
And with it, and when they cloning them, they trading their BBLs for these manginas. That's what they doing. They trading these BBLs for these manginas, man. Here's the thing, man. Everybody's always talking about a challenge, a fad. Here's what I want to start. I want to start this fad. I want coaches to stand up and tell parents, hey, man, Shut the fuck up and let me do what I'm here to do. Right? Now, if you don't like what I'm doing, it's cool. You can take your child and go to a different team, right? Or you can take your child and not play sports anymore. But I'm trying to run a team. And the thing about it is that it only takes 2 or 3 toxic parents to destroy the vibe of your whole team. I say it all the time. You can have the most talented team in the country, but if the parents don't get along in the stands, then it's a problem. When I was coaching Jonah, I would have a uh, I would have a parent meeting first week of practice. And what I would tell all these parents is like, listen here, man, none of y'all are friends. So quit acting like y'all friends. Quit being in each other's personal business. Quit hanging out with
Oh, you
each
get it
other.
out the
Matter of
way.
fact, y'all don't even need to talk to each other, right? Y'all can stay in different hotels when we go out of town. All I need y'all to do is bring your kids to practice and shut what they call the fuck up. Because it's always somebody trying to egg another parent on, and
Yeah,
then it ends up destroying the team. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So, as much as we talk about what these coaches are doing wrong or what the kids are doing wrong, let's talk about these parents for a moment. You know, sometimes parents, you have to get out of the team's way, you have to get out of the
yeah,
coach's way, and you have to get out of your own child's way. I can't tell you how many times, again, how many times I've seen parents go crazy on the sidelines, and I think to myself, I would probably
yeah,
do this coach some benefit if I had the cops escort this parent, out the facility. So, parents, man, do do your child, your organization, your team some justice, and sometimes just kind of sit back in the cut. Sit back in the cut, and sometimes, man, if you trust the process, things will work out on their own.
yeah, yes, 100% Clay. And I'll tell you like this, man, before we jump on to the next subject, I would tell parents, look, get used, if you're really preparing your kids for the next level, you're not going to be able to get in a high school coaches here. You're going to be in the stadium. You try that, you're going to really get your son kicked off the team. Leave it alone. So even if you take an L in preseason, stop making the coaches feel like y'all gonna snatch their babies and go somewhere else. Because it's not just about winning. If here's what I would tell you as a parent: if you feel your kid is getting better at their individual position every year, stick there. Win, lose, or draw, stick there. Now I know everybody want to get on the team, be on the internet, get a million views. I feel you. But if your son a cornerback, your son a linebacker, his technique getting better every year, that's what you want. Because you're not taking, for example,
Development.
the rare breeds to school with you when you get as a freshman. It's just you, bro. Your singular number, and your skill set. So whatever your skill set has been developed, you gonna need that in high school. Ain't nobody finna look at your YouTube videos when you was on 12U. You understand what I'm saying? That ain't gonna help you. What's gonna help you is your skill set. So parents, get the big picture. Stop making these coach scared, because I'm really starting to lose a lot of respect to which I thought was my homeboys, where they play a scared football. They don't want to lose the running back. They don't want to lose the cornerback. So preseason is to get to work, establish what you want early in the year, Clay. That's establishment.
So, I mean, since we own our soapbox, Jonah, I'm gonna bring up another topic that I feel like needs to be addressed, man. And I'm gonna call it false idols. When it comes to this youth football shit, man, there are a lot of coaches that's been held on pedestals. Like they're these great dynamic coaches, right? And they really ain't shit. They just living off people, talented kids. Or you got these guys that get on social media and they give their opinion, just like I give mine, just like you give yours, right? And they really don't be knowing what the fuck they talking about. And I see it every day. I see guys get on here and talk about I'm everywhere. I'm evaluating kids and I'm recording this and I can, man, shut the fuck up. You ain't doing shit. Don't talk to me about when you coached Pop Warner 25 fucking years ago. You know how much the game has evolved in the past 25 years, Jonah? And I get it.
Oh,
Listen, I can appreciate old school coaching to the fullest. Hell, I think the way that I coach is old school coaching because I emulate some great coaches I had in the past that allowed to help me and shape me into the man I am today. Right? But man, sometimes you just need to shut the fuck up. Like, shut up, bro. Like I be wanting to get on there and say, man, shut your 10 sandwich eating ass up. You don't know a motherfucking thing. Somebody gave you a camera and a plane ticket and told you that you knew something and you think you need to voice your opinion. Man, shut the fuck up.
Right. Well, listen, I'm glad you ain't shy about it, Clay. We had to pull that out of you, man. But next time, if y'all see Clay and the STFU come out, you know what it is. Take it, wear it on your chest. You get the
Well, you
Vern
know,
sticker on your chest.
Jonah, I'm sure I'll get a text message about this tomorrow. Oh, hurt somebody's feelings and can't do this. Man, shut the fuck up. So
Oh, so Clay, man, I'm gonna name some teams for you that I really think this is my personal watch list as we get ready to get into these rankings. I'm gonna kind of run 6U by you right now. You can jump in and elaborate on some of the names, not in any particular order, but kind of in order. You know what I'm saying? You just tell me what you think about. I'm gonna start at the bottom, probably at my number 10. I'm gonna mention Rome for 6U. Wahoma at the 9, Lithonian Lions at the 8. I like Duval Jags at the 7. I like 404 Bulls at the 6. I like SED Wolverines 6U. I like them, Clay. I know they ain't the favorite in Texas, but I think they're going to be something special. I like Atlanta Elite because they're tough. They're in a tough area in Georgia. I like Atlanta Elite at the 4. A team that you're going to see coming in the next couple weeks, Cheat Code, DMV Prime. You're going to love this team at 6U.
I'm gonna check them out.
Bessemer is very close behind GEA. GEA, I saw him in person at South Carolina, North Carolina. GEA at that number 1 spot. I like Bessemer right behind them. Right, I'll go down the other way. DMV, Atlanta Elite, Trackhawks as a team, SED Wolverines, 404 Bulls, Duval Jags, Lithonian Lions, Wahoma, and Rome. That's what the teams that's outside now playing football now. There may be some teams that pop out as we get into the season. But if we was dropping rankings right now, Clay, this is a group of teams I think you and I and the rest of the group would have to sit down and kind of chisel out of what order we put them in. But these are the teams that's putting in the work right now. Now, they're going to rewind this. They're going to put it up there. You're going to see it in the group. But I'm going to stand on that right now, Clay. Those teams I
So
just named you are going to be in the 6U.
So I agree with that list of teams. These are all teams that I think are debatable and in the conversation. I do think that GEA right now, their body of work, because they've gone to Charlotte, they've come to Texas,
Beat
they
Bessemer.
played in Alabama. You
Yeah.
talk about GEA, you talk about Bessemer. We had that clash head to head. I think that these are the teams that can be talked about. But I'm gonna tell you about a team here in Texas, man. So you talked about the SED Wolverines at
And I saw
6U,
SED go up against Havoc.
who look very good. But I'm gonna tell you about a team that has taken some early season losses. But their early season losses have been so respectable that I think you have to mention them maybe in the top 15.
Okay.
And it's gonna sound cliche when I tell you the team because you're like, oh, Clay, you just because they're from your organization or you gotta talk about the 6U San Antonio Outlaws, and here's why. I watched them lose to SED at the West Johnson Memorial game, 20-14.
But
And
hold
when
on,
I
Clay. Let me
watched
say
that,
it how you just said it. How you imitated my voice. Oh, Clay. Well, that's just because you're from your organization.
I watched them. I watched them lose to SED 20-14.
Yeah.
Uh, at the West Johnson Memorial event, and they lost
Yeah.
that game on not being able to tackle. Then this past weekend, right, they beat RCU, which is the number one
Hold on,
6U
Clay.
team
Hold
out of
on.
Houston.
I thought you was gonna tell me they lost the game because a hurricane hit. Nigga, you just said they ain't lose the game because they
Oh,
couldn't tackle.
hey,
Clay,
brother, listen,
tackling part of
listen, brother,
football. If you losing because you
listen.
can't tackle, nigga, you
Hey, listen to me, listen
cut.
to me,
Hey,
listen to me.
AG, cut the film, man. Cut the
Ah,
film.
man. Hey, listen to me. So they lose because of missed tackles, which is part of the game. So they lost.
Right.
They lose to SED, who we say arguably is top 10, twenty
Yeah.
to 13. Then they
That's
come
tight
back
score.
to the Ricky Sanchez this weekend, and they beat RCU, which is the number one 6U team in Houston,
Yeah.
And Georgia Elite come down here and they lose to Georgia Elite 6-0.
Well, you know what?
So
I got to keep an
what
eye
I'm
on them.
telling
Okay.
you, I'm not saying they top 10, but I'm
Right.
saying that they putting in some work that they could be categorized maybe top 15, top 20, depending how deep
Clay, I'm reading the
Generation
comments
X
and they
decides to go on
said,
their 6U schedule.
Clay, they giving you your own medicine. They said STFU.
That's cool. That's cool. I can take it. I can take it, baby. Hey, you know what? Let me get back in my
Now,
lane. On the
but
7U. On the
But
7U.
you know what? No. All jokes aside, man, if they playing, that's the work I'm talking about. You see that body of work you just said, Clay? You talking about playing GA. You talking about playing those top teams. That's gonna get that team better. And if they hanging in a dogfight with SED like that, man, that's only gonna have that team ready. It's ready. Now the question would be if we can get them outlaws to, be in that YNC that fire. That's the next question. You know what I'm
So
saying?
here's we're gonna talk about the 6U bracket for YNC in Houston, and I can talk about it right now because there is no bracket, Jonah. So we had 6 teams, right? And then when RCU lost to the Outlaws this weekend, they decided they wasn't coming to it. And then I don't know exactly why the San Antonio Outlaws pulled out as of last night, but they pulled out. So then you drop down to 4 teams, and all 4 teams are from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So it didn't make sense for them to travel to Houston to play teams that's in their league or right around the corner from them. So I reached out to all 4 presidents this morning. I said it would be the right thing to do. Hey guys, Outlaws have dropped out, RCU has dropped out, so it's only 4 Dallas-Fort Worth teams. Do you guys still want to do it? And 2 of the 4 teams said it didn't make sense. Their parents could save money on the travel and hotel and et cetera, et cetera. And I respect it. So we won't have a 6U bracket. I'm going to refund those 6U teams their registration money, those 4 teams from Dallas. But we got 52 teams from 7U up to 13U. So Houston's still finna be popping, my man.
Oh man. Well, let's talk about 7U. Before we even jump into that bracket, let me tell you some teams that I like at 7U. I'm gonna run you some teams at 7U. Of course, I love Bessemer at the number 1. Bessemer proved in South Carolina right then, they played a tough GEA team, but
They did
arguably
that.
number 4 is the best back at that age group. I love what he does. Kid is like a young Barry Sanders. Right behind him, GEA again. I know that sounds like a flip-flop what I just said at 6U. GEA coach Ken is coaching both of those teams. Look for GEA to push to be in the Nationals at the end of the year. Look for them to be in December. I like TNS at the 7, Clay. TNS
Hey,
got some pressure.
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
yes,
Them boys can
yes.
actually push to be in the top 2. So it's going to be between Bessemer, GNA, and TNS right now, in my opinion. Now, we always know this organization is tough at the young ages. They were tough last year. Duval Jags, expect for them to make some push. They may have a little
Duval.
edge to come over the top. You feel me? Then Atlanta Elite, right back again. I love what Mike and them were doing. Listen, they had some reorganization going on there. Look for Atlanta Elite to push at that 7U. Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes, but people didn't expect for that 7U, and this ain't Lauderdale Lakes. This is Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes pushing some weight at the 7U. Oak Cliff, Clay. I like Oak Cliff at the 7 and under, man. Expect some teams, some more pressure. You've seen this team in person. Now, this team used to be called Matry. They're called Peter Park now. Peter Park is
Okay,
Matry's
okay.
old name. Expect pressure from the 7U. And, of course, Lauderdale Lakes Vikings 7U. I like them to come back into the mix and really push at the end of the season. And one of my new favorite teams out of Texas, man, I just like their name sounds so cool. I like saying Space City, bro. You
I knew
feel
you
me?
was gonna
They
say
might
it.
not
I
be
knew
the
you was gonna
best. As
say it.
long as I could say Space City, they going to earn a spot just so I can say Space City. You feel me? But nah, Space City got some goons on that team. When you see them in person, you're going to really like what they're doing in action. So now I talked about them 7U. Tell me what we looking like in Houston at the 7 and under.
So 7U man is loaded. We got TNS there. We got Space City there. Matter of fact, AG, throw up that 7U bracket real fast for us, that 17 bracket. So guys, take a look at this bracket, man. All right, and understand that our event in Houston, you know, it's going to be a 2-game guarantee, so there is a consolation side to it as well too. But I'm just going to tell you. So if you look to your left, looking at the screen, first round you got TNS 7U versus Southside Ducks. As you see, the team that got the first right there is the Atlanta Elite Ravens. So in the
Yeah.
semifinals, you could get that Atlanta Elite and TNS matchup if TNS handles their business against the Southside Ducks. If you look on the right side, you have the Adamsville Tigers, who a lot of people have been talking about. Their front seven might be one of the best in 7U in the whole country. Renegade Coach United, and then on that bottom half, that first round matchup right there between Space City and the Oak Cliff Titans is finna be a banger. I
Yeah,
remind you, Oak Cliff Titans was a team that was one of the top 10 6Us in the country last year, and they came to South Florida in the YNC. So to be interesting to see how Space City, or who the winner of Space City and Oak Cliff is going to be, because Oak Cliff played TNS very tight a few weeks ago, right? So this 7U
I can't
bracket,
believe you
you
got them
might
jumping out the gate playing like that, Clay. That's crazy. Out the
hey, listen,
gate.
I'm not trying to count anybody out in this bracket, right? But you could see Atlanta Elite, TNS, Adamsville Tigers, and a coin flip between Space City and Oak Cliff in the Final Four. This shit in Houston finna get funky, dog.
Nah, that's straight pressure. Straight pressure, dog. Oh man, and don't sleep on Adamsville, bro. A lot of people don't know about the name. Do not sleep on it. That's a tough defensive squad right here, man. This could be a preliminary of what you're seeing inside our brackets this year when we talk about YNC Nationals, and as we get closer in these episodes, we're gonna start breaking down what the national championship is gonna look like this year. It's gonna be a little different from what you guys expected last week. Clay and I are gonna have some major announcements of how we're forming it. What divisions are gonna be what. We'll be releasing all that, and we even got some crazy. Well, let me back up. Let me slow down. So what I'm telling you, what we always like to do is get better at what we do. We don't like to look back at last year and say, man, let's cookie cut it. Let's do the same thing. All I
Yeah.
can tell you about preseason, it will not be anything like what you're seeing it now. It's going to be bananas. It's going to be on a whole nother level. It's something that is going to shake entire youth football nation. When Clay and I drop the bomb and tell you how preseason will be played next year, man, just get there. Just get there. Just get there. So we're tweaking out some things. So now, listen, everybody asking where the rankings at. No, we ain't dropped rankings yet. We just say we talking about some teams that, and we sticking to our formula. We'll drop rankings the week after DMV once we seen everybody play. We've seen a lot of these teams play, but we haven't seen a lot of the East Coast teams play. So it's only fair that we check out them DMV teams, the teams that's coming up to play up in Virginia. We got to check it if we're really talking about doing national rankings. We're not just doing regional rankings, national rankings. We need to see these teams nationally. So, but like I'll just recap some teams that we just think are really shaking it up early in the season. I see you. That's spinning. That's a throwback right now. That's throwback.
Hey,
That's old
Jonah,
jewelry.
let me tell you how crazy it is. The competition out there has got so upset that we've been calling them swagless monkeys, and they've been putting cheap versions out, right? They paid one of our national champions for one of our YNC pieces
Ooh.
to send to their jeweler the copy so they could get one that spins now. I love this shit, man.
But you
You
old
can't make this
news.
shit
We
up.
not wearing that this year. You old news, baby. That's like Run DMC jewelry. We good on that. Might as well wear your Adidas with the Adidas shell top shoes. You feel me? We ain't wearing that no more. We out of there. But recap, if you just missed the 7U, I said Bessemer, GA, TNS, Duval Jags, Atlanta Elite, Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes, Oak Cliff, Peter Park, Lauderdale Lake Vikings, Space City, just some teams to just kind of talk about what we think are making some pressure early in the season as we start approaching the rankings. But rankings will come out the week after DMV. Now, Clay, I'm very interested to see what this 8U bracket is going to look like in Houston. This 7U is bananas. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. That's straight pressure. What we looking like
Go
in
hit him
8U?
with the remix, AG. Hit him with the remix on 8U, man. So if you take a
Hey, and
look
if
at this
y'all want to
8U,
see what AJ doing, Alfred doing in the background today, y'all just hashtag we want to see Alfred. He'll pop up on the screen on the remix. He did it for y'all last week, but
exactly.
it's like one of the Marvel cameos, Clay. You know when they had the old man, he would show up in every once in a while in the movie. The old dude, you know what I'm saying? He'll be holding a newspaper, or he'll be on the bus. You know, you might just catch Al just posting up just like that. You'll never know it's him.
Chilling. All right, so with this 8U vibe, man, heavy 17 bracket. So we're gonna start with the left side, right? You've got DEA and Southside Ducks. You got the traditional old Dallas versus Houston vibe right there, and that winner has the opportunity to play the defending AYF Division One national champions, Playmakers Elite. My man Jawan, he always comes down and shows love, and decided to come on to
Yeah.
Texas, man, and give his kids an opportunity to play against the best. On the right side, first round, you've got SED versus the Westlake Ducks, and you also have Gorilla Mob versus
Gee. So
Oklahoma
how you
Sooners.
got Gorilla Mob and SED on the same side, Clay? Oh my
Hey,
God,
bro.
that's straight
Hey, bro.
pressure, man.
Sometimes, these beefs need to be settled. And I'm gonna say this,
Oh
right?
man.
I don't know
I'm
who's
sure they
gonna
would have
get to the
loved the
first
matchup.
round.
I'm sure SED would have loved the matchup with Gorilla Mob and potentially maybe the championship bracket.
Hey, man, I can't tell you how this shit gonna work out, but I can tell you this: if you
Yeah,
gonna see PME versus a DEA or SED versus Gorilla Mob, and again,
yeah,
I'm not counting anybody out, but if you see that
yeah,
Final Four, man, tell me that's not no pressure for you right there, Jonah.
yeah. Straight pressure. I don't know which
And,
one I
and,
like
and,
better, the 7U or the 8U.
and here's I'm gonna talk to you about a player, man, that a lot of people don't really know of unless you're in the state of Texas. Watch the quarterback for the Southside Ducks 8U as they battle DEA. This kid is a game changer. All right.
Yeah.
BJ Parker is his name, and he can run it, he can throw it, he can put a team on his back, bro. It's going to be interesting to see how DEA handles this dynamic quarterback.
DA got some some linebackers at that's crazy at AU. Crazy at AU. That's a movie. 7U, 8U. Yeah, 6U. I'm glad hey, we'll catch y'all next go around. Cause I'm good. We'll catch y'all in DMV. Oh man. So 8U, it's hard to follow that up, Clay. So I mean, with 9U, I'm sure we're gonna have a little letdown in 9U because
So
you
no,
know,
no, 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 no,
I'm
no.
sure it
So
cannot follow up
no,
with
no,
the
no,
8U
Jonah,
action
stop
game.
there, stop there. So 9U has a bracket, but before we get to the bracket play, AG, let's go on and put up. Well, you know what? Not, we're gonna do all the showcase games at the end. 9U was so deep, Jonah. 9U was so
Yeah.
deep. We had 11 teams. So 4 of the teams are put
Gee.
in showcase games, and the other 7 are put in bracket play. We'll talk about the bracket
Okay.
play, and then we'll do all the showcase games at the end. AG, let's put up the bracket play on 9U, man.
Well, hold up. See, before we go to 9U, hold up, AG. I'm sorry. Come right back. Clay, people asking your picks, man. They want to hear from the Texas guru. If you had to pick, and I won't even say who win it all, but if you had to pick a championship game, right? Give me them two
Yeah.
teams in the championship.
All right. So if I had to go with a championship game, ooh, that one's gonna be
Whew.
tough, man.
You're
So
gonna make
so
some
I
people
think on
mad. You're gonna make some people
yeah,
mad.
I think on the left side, PME would be my favorite, and then on that right side, bro, and I'm
Who
not
I
gonna
didn't hear
lie
you.
to you.
Who was on your left side?
So I would go with PME on my left side, and on my right side, and not to discredit the Sooners because they a damn good team too. But in my eyes, it would come down to that SCD and Gorilla Mob game, and that last meeting together, I believe SED won, right? So I would have to go with SED. So I would have to say PME versus SED in the championship.
Clay, I say it's hard to beat a team back to back. I agree with you on playmakers. It's hard to beat a team two out of two times. Gorilla Mob got revenge on their mind, bruh. SED might get upset. PME, Gorilla Mob for the ship in Houston.
Okay, we're gonna see how this thing play out. Hit him with the 9 UAG. Hit him with the 9U. All right, so on 9U right here, a lot of boys don't understand what type of heat is in this bracket, and we're not even going to talk about the teams that's in the showcase games on 9U yet. So, on the left side, you got Gold-Blooded Titans versus the Detroit Spartans in the first round. With that winner having the opportunity to play against Raising Havoc in the semifinals. On the right side, Renegade Coach United versus OTD. This is a powerhouse team out of Oklahoma that's starting to get some momentum built and want to hit the national scene. And in the semifinals, they would face the winner of SED and a new team to the select scene, Cornerstone Youth Sports. They've got two teams here this year. They've done very well in their league, state champions, state semifinals. They say, hey, Clayton, can we get opportunity against some of the big boys we see all on social media? Well, here's their opportunity, man.
So look, Clay, Detroit has been coming out and telling me about this team since last year. December came around and they say, man, get ready. We coming to Houston in the preseason. This is a squad we talk about. So we don't get to talk about Detroit much. But man, look for the Spartans to come down there and win that bracket on that side. Havoc, I know, is going to be the favorite. I get you. I feel you. Detroit ain't been scouted. They ain't been watched. I know people say they don't play football in Detroit. Look for Detroit to make some noise. And then who do you like on this side? Don't tell me SED again. I think Clayton froze up on us. That Comcast ain't working how it's supposed to in that heat in Texas. But I tell you this. Did you bounce back, Clay? Okay, you back in here,
I
Clay.
bounced back, bro.
Who you like on that right-hand side? Was that you like Renegades? You like SED? Who do you like on that side? I'm going to give you a surprise. I'm going to give you a dark horse. Detroit Spartans come out on that left-hand side.
Okay, so you're going with Detroit Spartans on that left-hand side, which I think is going to be tough, man, because one thing about raising havoc, they going to play tough, hard-nosed football, right? But on that right side, man, if I had to pick one, ooh wee, man. I'm gonna pick an upset right here. I'm gonna pick an upset. I think everybody can agree on that right hand side. SED is the favorite. I'm gonna pick an upset and say OTD come out of there on the right hand
I'm
side.
going party boys. I'm going party boys, Clay. I'm going with the I'm going party boys. I'm riding out Detroit party boys in the championship bracket.
So yeah,
Oh,
so a lot of people might be asking, who are the 4-9U teams that's on the showcase side, right? In the showcase
okay.
games. All I'm gonna say is, guys, wait, let us go through all the brackets, and then we're gonna release all the showcase games. And when you see these matchups on 9U for these showcase games, hey man, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be
Now,
crazy.
if
Hey,
we got some
hey, hey,
8U fans in here, so I mean 8U fans in here. I know we're on 9Us right now. So I just mentioned a couple teams earlier that Clay and I are going to be looking at and evaluating as we go. But in your opinion, if you follow 8U or 9U, drop your top five or who you think are the top five teams in the country. I know a lot of people want to jump on, Voodoo, rightly so at the nine. But who comes in right behind Voodoo? Who comes in right behind those two teams? We want to hear from you on the 9 and under. 8 and under, we already know. Bessemer's been having everything on lock. They were the 7U champs from last year. But who comes in after that again? Are you going to say Lauderdale Lakes are right behind them since they have them in a tight fight? Let us hear your top five from the 8U and 9U. We want to hear from you. So, Clay, we're going to go ahead and switch it up to the 10 and under bracket.
another
Staying on brackets, we're
17
not going on
bracket.
showcases right now.
Another 17 bracket. So now I want you to take a look at this bracket, Jonah. And when I tell you 10U got some smoke, they got some
Yeah,
smoke, baby.
Lord.
On that left side, you have More Truth versus RCU, with the winner having the opportunity to play DEA. Now, and let's just say More Truth handled their business. Last time DEA and More Truth played each other, I was there on the field. The game went down to a botched extra point snap to seal the
Yeah,
win. I
yeah,
believe the
yeah.
final score was 14-13 or 13-12 or something like that. Hell of a game. You might see that rematch if they can handle their business against RCU.
Yeah,
Then on the right side, Gold-Blooded Titans has been to the YNC semifinals the past 2 years.
yeah.
Raising Havoc is the UYFL defending national champion. TNS is another YNC December invite team that
Great,
always
pressure.
brings the hammer. And Southside Ducks, another team that is filled with athletes, and in case you don't know, Jonah, they filled with. So this one here, Jonah, I think is going to be the hardest one to predict out of all of them.
Man, I think More Truth might squeeze it out on the left-hand side. And man, I think if TNS, I'm gonna go gold-blooded, man. I think More Truth gold-blooded championship bracket.
So listen, man.
I think so, bro. I think so.
I think that DEA, when I saw them play the first time, did a great job of keeping More Truth on their heels. And I've heard from the coach that More Truth has all of his weapons back. I guess he was missing some weapons, and he has all of his weapons back. But until I see him on the field, I can't confirm it. So I'm gonna go with DEA on the left side, and on that right side, bro, Gold-Blooded Titans has really added some pieces within the past week and a half that I think helps them before. Because if you look at Gold-Blooded Titans about a month ago, they were not looking very good. But after
Right.
watching them in the Ricky Sanchez, I think they're going to be a solid team. But if I'm being honest right now, Raising Havoc is playing some of the best 10U football that I've seen in the country right now. So I got to go with a DEA versus Raising Havoc championship game.
Wow. That's totally different from what I had, bro. Totally different. But I can tell you, that's what's gonna make it so good. These games gonna be straight fire. Straight fire. But can DA, do you think the games that they played a couple weeks ago, does it impact them, or you think they gotten better for them games where they took an L down there in Atlanta?
It always depends on what the coaching staff brings out of the kids. If your coaching staff handles the adversity the right way, that loss should have made that this past weekend should have made DEA a better team, right? But it's going to come down to a bunch of things. How do the coaches bounce back and motivate the kids? How do the kids handle the adversity of those losses? But here's the third factor that nobody's talking about, Jonah. How much shit did the parents talk about them coaches in the car ride or in the flight home? Because here's the psychological part that people don't understand. Parents may say all day, "Oh, I've never talked bad about the coach to my kid," but them kids hear you talk to your sister and your brother or your best friend about how the coach is a piece of shit and he don't know what he's doing, and psychologically that keeps them kids from believing in them coaches. So to me, it's gonna come down to how much shit did those parents talk about those coaches and whether those coaches can get those kids back in the saddle.
Clay, what that conversation sound like? I can't believe I spent all this money, flew my all the way down here to Georgia. Yes. I need to have this money for school clothes. I'd have spent $2,500, $3,000 just to get our ass whooped. And then Peter only got in 3 plays. I counted 3 plays now. Don't think I'll count them 3 plays. And I came down here for 3 plays. And I'd have spent all this money. This coach, boy, never again, girl, never again. So after Shorty done heard that all the way home, you think that Shorty want to play football? So
yeah,
if they've drowned out the noise and honed back in and made the parents buy back in, then yeah, I would say from a talent perspective, maybe DA has that opportunity. But a team that's riding the high right now, that they'd always like coming in as an underdog. They have a quarterback to make sure they can make the plays. More truth. They've been that team for the last 2 years. They just haven't got on the upper cusp, but they play well out when they're in Texas, or they can play in that 110 heat. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. We're gonna be looking at some teams further that's not used to that heat. Will Detroit be able to handle coming down to the Texas South after coming out of Michigan and take that 110-pound beating in pads? That may be another thing. I may retract that. I may retract my Detroit decision just from that statement alone.
It's different, Jonah. It's different because I can tell you right now.
Them shorties may not make 4 quarters. You know what? Niggas might take the hat and say they tap out third quarter.
Let me tell you, bro.
Hey, we good.
Let me tell you. Detroit has no idea what they about to walk into. And Houston is one of the most humid spots in Texas along with the heat. Saturday, the high is 103. Sunday, the high is 103. And we on turf. Ooh, shit, y'all.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. So that Texas heat does hit different. But, yeah, I would tell coaches this, man. And I know it's a fine line, Clay. It's easy for us to to make them calls. Hold on, let me plug in the computer before I dial real quick, man. Um, y'all, my computer cut right off for you, man. I'm up here freestyling. I know it's a fine line of winning games and still trying to play your kids, right? And I know, listen, when you behind, you ain't worried about Peter or John. So yeah, mom and dad's kind of remember what you signed up for. When things going good and your son is not the starter, he gonna get some reps. I'm just expectations is everything. Let's do parents. We just want
Yeah.
to talk to y'all for a little bit. Let's set y'all expectations. So and dads too. You know, if y'all want y'all son to get better, get him off the video game. Don't let him be on the sofa eating everything at night, and you're not putting in no work that you're only expecting the coach to put in some work. Then y'all expect him to play all the hours and all the plays because you spent $2,500. You spend the same $2,500 that some other dad is out there running the laps with his kid, got his kids doing push-ups and putting in that work. So when you doing that remote control parenting, and y'all know what it is, don't get upset with me. When you come home, you throw your keys down. You go tell your son to go get in the room. He don't come out the room till 11 in the morning. Don't think his football skill set getting no better. You understand what I'm saying? And don't expect no miracle. You're going to get what you put out. You know what you in the kids. So when you spend that money and you want that money worth on your trip, baby, put that work in. You know what I'm saying? Get them to the gym. Get them to work out with a trainer. Go and get these coaches are doing it for free. So it's an equal thing. Parents, help the coaches out. Help it out, because I know how it feels. You know what I'm saying? I know you done wrote that check. You done swiped that card for that American Airlines vibe and the hotel, the 4 days at the hotel, $250 a night. The flights, $500 each. Before you know it, you look at your credit card bill, you out $3,000 just for that weekend. You got beat 32-0. I feel you.
Hey, it's true.
Hey,
it's true.
that 32-0 hit different though, don't it? Though.
Hey,
I
it
want
hit
all my
different,
money
bro.
back,
It hit
nigga.
let me tell you what. If you got somebody sponsoring a 32-0 ass whooping, it don't hurt as bad as it does when you done paid for a 32
Yeah.
to shit houses. Oh my God. Listen, hey, and I can tell you, brother, from experience, hey, some ass whoopings hurt a little bit more depending on how much financially you didn't invested in it. Hey, I could have stayed at home for this shit.
Hey, Clay, what what was the rare breed score to DEA?
52 shit house.
Oh,
Yeah.
nigga, give me a refund right now. I want my
Yeah.
registration money back. I want my
Hey,
airplane money back. I want everything
hey,
affiliated with this part back right now.
here's the thing,
Run it.
bro.
Run my
And I can
money.
tell you this. The DEA organization has taken so much heat this week, not just nationally, but even in their own city. If you go in the DFW Uncut group, they've been going ham on them from the moment the games were over with to even today. They've been going ham on them all day. And all I can say is this: is that the parents, the kids, and the coaches that are still there, they definitely are committed, man, because they've been getting the
Yeah.
blues on social media. I take my hat off to them, man, because that's tough. That's tough to handle.
Clay, well, here's a big opportunity for them to bounce back. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you run up on a team that just they buzzsaw that night, you know, uh, and they can come back and kind of heal that thing. They can't come out and take no big loss right now if they want to keep the morale of the parents. They're gonna have to fight, and everybody gonna have to fight with them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Horace,
No
I
doubt.
know the $3,000 is cool when kids having fun, but that ain't the conversations. Listen, when we do lives and our camera right up in the press box, you know who sit right up on our cameras? Them mamas. So we hear all the conversations you don't hear, Howard. I know it's all fun when you spent the $3,000. As long as the kids are having fun, okay, that's not the conversations the mamas is having. The mamas is having, I ain't spending another goddamn penny on this team or this coach don't nothing for me such and such. He's so busy chasing the hoes on the team. He's so busy chasing the mamas on the team. He can't coach. So that's what you're not hearing, Howard. Hey, welcome to Football Uncut. We gonna tell you how it is. So we're just telling you, help your coach out by helping your baby get a little bit on that football field. Clay, talk to me about 11 and under in Houston.
Hit him with it, AG. Again, 11U is a loaded 17 bracket. Now, on the left hand side, you've got a
Woo.
team that has dominated their region that they've asked for an opportunity and I'm gonna give them to them. All right, the West Texas Bulldogs versus the Crew. Winner gets an opportunity to face arguably, one of the top 4 or 5, one of the top 4 or 5 11 U's in the country, TNS, the AYF champion. Now, on your right hand side, you've got RCU, and we watched them in 2 major battles in Charlotte with Bull
Yeah.
versus Cornerstone Youth Sports. Now, a lot of people may say, well, how did Cornerstone get in it? That's a team that's won some championships in their league. And this past weekend, even though the Crew won the championship, Cornerstone beat the Crew in pool play. So it's not a team to just lay down for. And then, of course, on the bottom side, you've got the Southeast Dallas Wolverines and the Southside Ducks. This particular bracket right here is going to surprise some people big time. I think, without a doubt, we all know TNS is the overwhelming favorite, right? But it's why we play the game, Jonah. You never know how this thing gonna shake out. Who are your 2 teams in the championship?
What the matchup I would love to see, just because I'm a football junkie, is TNS and RCU. I think Renegades. They went out to Charlotte, caught 2 teams that was buzzing. I think they probably made some adjustments. One thing you can't say about them that they don't have offense and that they don't have one of the most talented kids on the team. It'll be very interesting to see if TNS can even stop the Bull. I see. Listen, Howard had a hard time stopping the kid. That's one of the best defenses in the country. Came right behind him and did the same thing the next day. So I think, in my opinion, listen, I think Crew just has. They're not the Crew of old. So when you hear Crew,
True.
you think of all the pieces they had when they were at 8U, and they're just not that team yet. Are they a good team? Yes. I think they're still missing some pieces defensively, and I think if they get a little bit more together, they can make a push for a national run. SED, same thing. Not the SED of old, the usual SED teams you're used to seeing, but I think they can compete as long as they can go ahead and start filling in the blanks. 2 teams I think ready right now that compete is TNS and RCU. So I think you'll see them in the championship bracket, man, at this 11 and under. But this is crazy. It's banana. This is great competition. I love it that we're seeing the best teams in Texas representing while we're at Houston so we can see them compete on that level.
So I agree with you. I think you're definitely going to have TNS from the left side, and RCU is definitely my favorite on the right side. And seeing that matchup, I think would do a lot of things. Here's the thing I think that makes TNS very dynamic. Their front line play on the O line and D line is second to none in the state of Texas, right? But here's the thing that I think could be interesting and could play in RCU's favor. RCU just went down to Charlotte and played the only team that not only has beat TNS in the past 2 years, but the only team that has dominated TNS in the past 2 years, right? So when you go and play against, let's just say your big brother's big brother, maybe you come back a little bit stronger and a little bit more prepared for TNS. So even though TNS is my favorite to win the 11U bracket, I do think that RCU is going to give them a better game than they expected because RCU just got through playing the best team in the country, probably the best youth football team in all the country, which is Lambeau.
Yeah, and at one point it was very competitive as they was going back and forth. They just didn't have the depth that Lambeau did in that heat, and they got worn down. So yeah, I think they expect a good matchup, but no discounting the rest of those teams. That might not even be the championship game play. We'll see when we get out there, man. Now, let's start the 12U. We're trying to get y'all up out of here. 12U action, what we looking at on the bracket side?
So no bracket side on 12U and 13U. We're going straight showcase games. So
straight showcase.
Let's hit them with the showcase games on Saturday. All right, here's your showcase games on Saturday. So remember, we were talking about 9U, Jonah, at 1 p.m. in the football stadium. The Crescent City Chargers versus Pac Prime on 9U.
Woo!
That's going to be a heavyweight matchup.
Ooh.
Then following that in Panther Stadium, you have
Hold on,
the
Clay. Hold on. You
okay, my
can't just
bad, my
jump to the
bad.
matchup.
Let me
You
let your
can't
mouth
match.
water a little bit.
You can't just say Crescent City Chargers and then hit it against Pac Prime. This is possibly one of the teams that can knock Pac Prime off. If we were talking 9U rankings right now, we would say Voodoo is the number one team. Arguably so, the team that's always in the national championship with them for the last 2 years has been Pac Prime. This is
Yep.
one team in the nation that in their own local area can actually knock this Pac Prime team off. A lot of people don't know about Crescent City. Fill these people in and let them know what type of magnitude this 9U game is going to be, Clay.
This is going to be a huge game. This right here is a YNC December national semifinal game right here. Normally, a matchup like this would determine who's going to face Voodoo in the national championship. Big time game early in the year, big time competition. Now, right after that, as you can see, you've got two national champions that's about to go head to head. You've got the Bad Boys, who are the AYF Division One national champion, versus RDU, the YNC
Crazy.
Division Two national champion. Now, for me, Jonah, this is an interesting matchup because just me being me, and I'm always proud of my product. Hey, I'm always gonna wear the YNC brand wherever I go, and I put my brand and my champions against anybody in the country because I ride with them. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how the AYF Division One champ does against the YNC Division Two champ. What's your
Yeah,
thoughts?
yeah, yeah. I agree with you, man. So this is what the competition is all about. And I know it's all the fun and games when we talk about other champions. At the end of the day, we want to see good football. If we feel this is a team that can challenge RDU, we want to see it. You know what I'm saying? Win, lose, or draw. We don't run from it. We run. Hold on. We don't run. We are the smoke. Fool. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, this is what we want. This is what we live. We don't want to run from it. We don't care. Oh, John, y'all don't want to play the top other teams. Oh, yeah, we do. Oh, yeah, we do. Let's go. Hey, prime time, live stream, 2:45 p.m. Strap it up. You feel me? Now
Yep.
tell me about this 12U matchup, bro.
Now in the track stadium, right? Because we're gonna have two turf stadiums going. We got Panther Stadium, which is the football stadium, and we got the track stadium going on, right? At 3 p.m., a Big 12U matchup, a Dallas versus Houston rivalry. You've got Apex versus BME. Now, I know there's been a lot of speculation on social media, I guess with some flights and stuff like that, and I don't know all the details, that Apex may not be in the YNC in Houston. Far as I know, I've talked to a coach. He has confirmed with me that he's talking with his parents tonight. So we should know for sure that they're still going to uphold their commitment to the YNC. If they don't, we do have another opponent for BME at 3 p.m. in the track stadium. But that's a big time matchup right there, that a
Yes,
lot
sir.
of people want to see on the 12U level. Now,
13U
going back
action.
to Panther Stadium. Everybody wanted to see what DEA was going to look like after those adjustments of some kids playing high school football. Now, right here, you're going to have another Dallas versus Houston rivalry. Southwest Junior Marlins out of Houston on 13U versus DEA, the Division One YNC defending national champions. I think that game's going to be a lot better than people anticipate, Jonah.
Yeah, because I'm curious to see the new unveiled 13U action DA team. So I'm curious. I'm gonna be right down the sideline. I want to see what we looking like.
All right. And then again at 12 p.m. in the track stadium. Another big matchup that a lot of people have been wanting to see just to see exactly how that thing was going to work out. Now, to it, these teams, everybody may not know about them, right? You may say, hey, Clayton, who are these teams right here? But again, this is the YNC. We like to put these showcase games out there to give people an opportunity to see exactly what they have. These are going to be two traditional teams that you see right here. You're going to see TCU out of Dallas versus the A-Leaf Kings, two traditional teams that have made a lot of noise in their respective leagues, and they're gonna battle it out at the YNC in the track stadium.
12 and under
And then,
action.
yep, and then your nightcap in the Panther football stadium. two 12Us that are known around the country. Everybody's going to want to see how DEA 12U bounces back after that shellacking they took from Rare Breeds. And you know Reggie, whenever he fly in from Seattle, he always looking for the smoke. At 6:15 p.m., you have DEA versus Air
Yeah.
Academy. That game is going to be a barn burner.
Boy, a lot on the line because after DEA took that loss, everybody feeling like they could jump on DEA, but I can guarantee you, DEA is gonna treat that like a hornet's nest. So Air has to be careful not to get caught in that recovery, that bounce back game. You know what I'm saying? Because it could get ugly for Air. So they're gonna have to play some football, man. But I expect those two teams to really battle it out. I think they're kind of equally matched position for position. And it's hard to pick a team that, believe it or not, out of that 12U in action out of that one, Clay.
Most definitely. Now, let's hit them with the showcase games on Sunday. Hey, just don't stop on Saturday. We got both showcase games on Sunday. All right. Hitting them with on Sunday. Now, starting with 9U to Panther Stadium. You're going to have the Crescent City Chargers versus the Bad Boys. We'll see how both of them either keep winning or bounce back from what happens the night before. Then,
right.
At 9:45 a.m., Pac Prime versus RDU. You've got a YC Division 1 runner-up versus the Division 2 national champion. So it will be interesting to see how those two teams match up. At 11:30 in Panther Stadium, Air Academy versus Apex. Again, if for some reason Apex decides that they're not going to play, we'll have an adjustment for it. But that again is going to be a 12U game that people are looking for. But this one at 1:15, Jonah, this one at 1:15 is liable to bring the entire state of Texas to C.E. King High School. DEA 12U, the pride of DFW, versus BME 12U, the pride of Houston, Texas. It's going to be interesting to watch this clash go head to head.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard-hitting, clacking game. That's going to have the crowd out. It's going to be buzzing at Panther Stadium, bro.
Then, 3 p.m. at Panther Stadium, the last showcase game that we're going to have at Panther Stadium, which will be TCU versus the Houston Seahawks. Again, two pure age 12U teams. I'm sorry, not pure traditional age 12U teams that's going to go head to head. And then our final showcase game, which will be at the track stadium, are going to be two teams that's looking to make some noise on 13U this year, right? And these two teams said, Clayton, we want an opportunity. Texas Warpath won the Ricky Sanchez last weekend. Louisiana Mudbugs have been winning a lot of games in Louisiana. So I said, hey, we're going to bring you two guys together and allow you to battle it out in front of us so we can evaluate you. 4 p.m. in the track stadium, Texas Warpath versus the Louisiana Mudbugs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's going to wrap up the showcases, man. So the brackets, it's going to be a lot of action between brackets and showcases going on that entire day, man. Great football. It's going to give us really a look on where we're at in the Texas Southwest area from a rankings perspective, man. And so what we'll take from here, Clay, and then the following weekend of DFV, we're going to really have a good look of what's been going on completely around the nation. So, man, I just got to get my suntan lotion. I'll see you tomorrow. I get over there.
You better get some sunblock, brother. You don't need you don't need no tan. You need some sunblock.
I'm gonna be out there walking with one of them umbrellas that got the little curve to it. You know the umbrella that got the curve to it? Had that umbrella wrapped around me, bro. I'm making sure I'm good.
So listen, guys,
let's get it in. Let's get it in.
Stadium.
So listen, I didn't do rankings for all the teams, Clay, and I'm gonna just keep perspective. We're just gonna drop some caveats for y'all every time we jump on the show. This just for fun. Trust me, the rankings are not out yet. We do it official. We'll have all the graphics and all that. We'll drop on Football Uncut. But we serve no wine before it's time. There's just some teams that we just feel are pushing to those top areas. And then we'll have a good look at the 8Us this week. We'll have a good look at the 9Us this week because Texas has a lot to do with our overall national rankings. So we'll be dropping probably 6U to 10U this coming week and let you know how we feel. And then 11U to 13U the following. And then, y'all, we'll go ahead and touch in on those 14Us right now. But, Clay, how you feel about that 14U?
Man, 14U is going to be interesting because, again, you've got some traditionals that have been there year after year. You've got the Mississippi Wolfpack. You've got the Maryland Heat. Of course, you've got the OC Buckeyes, right? You've got a lot of are the team out of Vegas? Do they have a 14U this year? Vegas Strong? Do we know?
Hold on, Clay. Let me address the fool in the house. So you're on one of our shows, Presley, right? So let me tell you something. We don't let things go unchecked. Presley, you don't know me. You don't want to
Come
get to
on,
know
man.
me.
Don't turn them into a Vernon, bro.
I can turn you to Vern instantly. So don't get the full clip, homeboy. Stay in your lane. I talk how I want to talk. You're on my show, homie. You know what I'm saying? You are a guest. Okay? And keep it that way, fam. You're on my show. I'm not on yours. So back on to what I'm saying, Clay Dub.
But yeah, I think we need to find out if Vegas Strong has a 14U. We know there's some 14Us in Colorado, all up and down the East Coast. So
Clay, you
evaluating
being nice,
14U, I think
man. You don't like 14U. Just tell it, bro. This is not your
I
thing, bro.
mean
You don't.
I think the shit is pointless, but
No.
it's just my opinion. Um, but anyways, here, man, here's what we need to talk about. If you're coming to CE King High School this weekend, if your
Yeah.
games are on field 3 or 4, right, you need to bring lawn chairs. If you are in the track stadium or in the Panther football stadium, there's no need for lawn chairs because there are bleachers, right? And in the stadium, there really are some bleachers. Please be mindful. I would advise everyone to bring an umbrella if you want to keep that sun off of you. You can bring canopies into the athletic complex side of it, meaning the grass fields, right? But please understand our YNC rules. We have a 100% clear back policy. That means if you bring in a canopy or even a chair to sit in, you have to carry it in by hand. You cannot bring it in any wagons, and you can't carry it in the bag that comes with it, the canopy bag or the chair bag. Is it inconvenience? Yes, it is. But I'd rather you be inconvenienced than we have somebody sneak something in and get stupid at the event. So please be mindful of that if your coaches have not explained that to you guys as well.
Right, cool. Yeah. Important information. So, Clay, uh, as we get ready to wrap up in Houston next week, we'll have information for DMB. Some
Can we
people are
can I
asking where
can
his
we talk
meeting's
about
going to
DMV
be.
a little bit? Let's talk
Yeah,
about
no,
it.
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Going down
Absolutely.
next weekend, Independence High School. I know a lot of people are looking forward. A lot of people are looking forward to these matchups. I'm looking forward to the matchups. More
Yeah.
importantly, I'm looking forward to not be in 100+ degree weather because it's there. It's that way here every day of the week, right? But Jonah and I will drop those brackets. We'll drop those showcase
Yeah.
games the moment Houston is wrapped up. Here's what you need to remember about DMV. We're looking at an event with over 50 team slots, right? Guys, if you have not taken care of your registration or registered your team, you have until Saturday night. Then the system is shut down and it is what it is. So again, you guys have to Saturday night. I know Jonah has followed up with some teams. I followed up with some teams. We got some age divisions where we got a ton of registrations, right? And we've got some
Yeah.
age divisions where we're about half and half. Half the teams are registered, the other half haven't. I had a guy hit me up today talking about, oh, Clayton, my league is trying to put pressure on me. If we play in your event, they said they're going to kick us out the league and this and that. My thing to him is tell him to show you in your bylaws where you can't play in this tournament. Because if you playing in
Right.
anybody else's tournament, you can play in this one. Don't let people try to strong arm you with the stupid shit, right? So DMV is finna be a movie. I can't wait, man. Oh boy, it's just one of them things. This time of year is always good to have those back-to-back weekends like that.
Man, I can tell you one thing, Clay. When we there, we about to stop through Jerry's Seafood. Man, they got the crab bombs. Let me tell you, DMV area is known for that seafood. We're going to wreck out on seafood. But most importantly, man, I'm looking forward to seeing some of these top DMV teams. Like I told you earlier, I can't wait to see DMV Prime that are at the 6 and under. I can't wait to see City Life 12 and under. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be some real strong teams. DMVU, It's some teams I want to look at over there. So I got to tell you, it's going to be an absolute movie up that week. How we talking about? You'll be in Dallas 2 weeks for the YMCA. Well, okay. Oh, that's what he's saying.
I won't
It's
be.
going to be a
I might not be at that one, Howard. My son might have a game. You got to remember, Howard, I coach high school football now, so I'm coaching games on Friday nights, and then I'm trying to go to wherever my son is playing on Saturday in college. So I got to look at the schedule, bro. I can't commit to it until I have the schedule right in front of me.
So what's going on the 26th, Clay? Fill me in.
So Lambeau is coming to Dallas to play TNS, right? So you got the YNC Division One national champion versus the AYF Division One national champion. And again, like we talked about, nobody has beat TNS or dominated TNS in the past 2 years, but Lambeau, when Lambeau played them at the YNC national championship a couple years back. So I think it'll be very interesting for this particular game because TNS
Yeah,
has been very dominant, with the
yeah.
exception of Lambeau. And last year, they decided to go to the AYF championship instead of coming to the YNC, so I think they decided to get together and just go ahead and settle, who's the number one team in the country right now.
Yeah, well, hey, Howard, we going to work it out. We won't be on the sideline. We like Death Row Records. If we don't want your presidents or your leagues on the sideline and your videos asking for flags, come over here to Death Row. But
So
we'll be in the
Mark
press
just
box.
asked, your boy Flanagan
We'll
just
be in
said,
the
I know
press
it's a
box
long
support
shot.
you, man. How we can't let you go.
Your boy
We can't let you go out there without. What Flanagan talk about?
He said, I know it's a long shot, but did Southfield 12U inquire about meeting rare breeds in DMV? Let me answer that for you, Flanagan. Maybe they hit Jonah up. They didn't hit me up. I just put it like that.
So Clay, let's have some confessional right now. I think we caused some problems with rare breeds because we put out a video that went over probably combined views probably close to 2 million in 1 week. With Coach Evans on Twitter, it was like 1.5. At Facebook, we had like 600,000. So about 2.1 just on those two things. After seeing them 2.1 million views and them aerial views, they're like, hold on, man. This rare breeds thing on a different speed. And when you start looking at all them different views, it's like watching Bruce Lee in slow motion. When you're watching them old Kung Fu movies, you just seeing whack, and you see it, you're like, hold on, do I really? But when niggas try to break down film on Mike Tyson, and they see Mike Tyson, Bob Wheaton come over there and do that uppercut, they're like, man, do I really want that pressure? Nah, I'm
Pressure.
good. So I've already dedicated the rest of the year. I'm not focused on what anybody else does. So only 3 acronyms you're gonna hear from me is YNC. But outside of YNC, and just hear me on this. Y'all got to hear my heart on this because this is gonna be the realest thing I'm gonna tell you. This goes back to the original thing what we started the show out with. Teams will rather avoid a powerhouse team and say, hey man, we're not gonna play over there. We'll avoid all of that and play where we know we can win. I had some coaches when I was on the West Coast talk to me and said this in the preseason. Hey man, did you hear that? That kid B5 plays on rare breeds now. They're not going to get any y'all championship, or that age group is going to be weak like how they did with Voodoo. But that's the state of football we play in now, Clay. It's like the less resistance is the way you want to go. But we'll never run or tell teams they can't be great. You see what I'm saying? We can't tell. You can't be great. You got to be average to compete. So if coaches will take the perspective and say, hey, listen, we don't want to play top competition. We want to play our level of football. Then, man, shout out to y'all what y'all doing to Marcus Flanagan because y'all playing elite level of football. And what you've really done is just kind of scared the competition where it's going to be hard for you to get games. But what I will tell you, and I can go public with it, the teams that have said they play in YNC at the 12 and under, TME, Trey Man Elite, strong team. B5 was on that team as well. City Life, 12U. That's a team that we think can compete with anybody in the top 5. And, of course, the team that took Southfield Falcons to the rare ragged edge, you know what I'm saying, Primetime Elite, committed to YNC. Of course, Boynton Beach Bulldogs, a great team. Of course, Rare Breeds there. So if you take those teams, Clay, at the 12 and under, that's really majority of the powerhouse teams. That's, to me, listen to what I'm about to tell you. that's willing to play football anywhere, anytime, not strategic football. So, I mean, everybody else, you listen, they can hate, and they could say Clay and I just propaganda. No, we just call it as it is. We don't have to, we're not governed by the body to tell us what we can say and what we can't say. We go call it how we see it. When you want to play football, again, I respect what OG Ducks did, 13U. They didn't have to play the game early, you know what I'm saying, at their first game out, but they played football. Win, lose, or draw, I don't care about what they win, lose, or draw. I respect the coaching staff because they playing football. Now, everybody else who just want to play, hey, all that Usain Bolt type of football where you put on your track shoes and you bolting it out, man, that's never going to be good football. Look, I coach differently. You know, I had Dalvin Cook and those as my running back on Miami Garden Chargers. And, man, Clay, if you looked like you was moving, we wanted to play it. If you shook a bush and you said 12U, we was on your head. We was
Got
like,
to have
no,
it.
it would never be
Got
a
to have it.
time we say, oh, we not ready to play you. It would never. Look, a 13U came to our part to scrimmage, our 13Us, and our 13Us like, nah, we don't want that thump. Nigga, we do. And guess what? We put it on videotape. Okay? You can Google still to this day. Miami Guard Chargers 120s, because we was weighted football back then. Plays North
Yeah.
Miami Beach 135s. Yeah, it was weighted football. They made us weigh a certain weight at 12 years old. So you used to be weighted in Florida. But we just never ran from it. And it wasn't so much an ego thing for me, but as the leader of those young men, I had to show them that I believe in them. It wasn't so much about me. I already had played my football. I already shot my shot. It is what it is. But if I really truly believe them kids was the best of their edge, I had to look them in the eye and say, man, listen, we go play anybody. I would never let them see me take a cowardly position and say, nah, I'm not gonna play this team. Never. Because I believe in them and they believe in me. And so when they know your coach believe in you, them kids will run through a wall for you, Clay. So, you know, the Marcus, keep doing what you're doing, bro. We can't guarantee you that you're going to always get the games that you deserve to play. You know what I'm saying? But just know you're getting the boys ready for high school. And I can guarantee every kid on that team going to be a dog when they get ready to the 13, 14. Just like your other Rare Breed team did when you won YNC and you hijacked our golf cart, bro.
Proof is in the pudding, man. Proof is in the pudding.
Yeah. So, Clay, I know you're getting ready for Houston. We got to get them stadiums up and running. Anything else you got on your chest, registration-wise? Listen, hey, I was joking about 14U earlier. I don't want nobody coming back at Clay. Listen, 14 and under, 14 and under, as the teams are, and we're just going to touch on this real quick and we'll let y'all get out of here. 14 and under, man, we just believe it's become a type of a gym. There are some top football teams that really play up north. Detroit plays strong football up there. You got the Spartans. You got the East Coast in the DMV area, a lot of 14Us in the DMV area. Not too many in Texas, not too many in Florida, not any in Georgia. So that's where, you know, usually in those major football states, Clay, it's not really taking place. But it doesn't take away from what they're doing up there, like in Philly Blackhawks. All those guys got some strong 14-year-olds. So I will tell you, for their situation, man, listen, get out at us. No,
did I
you're not
miss
going to get any answer about that. And
Jonah, hold on.
Talk to me, sir.
So I see a comment that says, what's y'all take on Miami Garden Ravens pulling a no-show? Ain't Rod Mack Florida's top dog? They pulled a no-show? What was this? What have I been? I've been so busy with work, bro. I hadn't even really paid attention to social media lately. What happened?
Where's is the Marcus Flanagan online right now? Can we get him a passcode to jump online? Can we work that
I
out,
mean,
producer? Could you text
hey,
me?
AG, text me a passcode and I'm gonna text it to DeMarcus right now. Cause yeah, man,
I don't want to
that
speculate. You know, I don't want to speculate. You know, let me hear from head coach. You know, Marcus could tell us what's going on. I saw some things going back and forth.
man, that's crazy. That's
Kobe, I ain't
crazy.
running for Congress, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Marcus, if you're on here, go ahead and just put a thumbs up. Let us know you're on here, man, so we can go ahead and get you on real quick. Give me a passcode code for DeMarcus, and let's hear from the coach's mouth.
Oh no, man. Uh-oh. Here one for him. There's the code for him. Let me go and give him the website. Give me a second, y'all. I gotta I got to get to the instructions to send to DeMarcus, and then we got to ask some very potent questions about this, Jonah. Guys, dang, you been hiding this from me, bro. You supposed to be on top of your stuff when I'm busy like this, man.
Man, listen, I've been DMV buried, man. These people ready.
Yeah, I feel that 100%. I feel that 100%. All right, people, let me go and send this to Flanagan real quick, and we gonna ask the questions that nobody else want to ask, right? We definitely gonna ask the questions. So Mark, oh
We
yeah,
finna
he
have one
on
of
because he
those
just read my
uncut
text.
one.
He on because he just read my text. Log in now, Mark. Log in now.
Ah.
We gotta ask them questions. So I mean, but before we get Flanagan in here, man, what you think that's about,
Yeah,
Jonah?
y'all better share the live because it's gonna get real interesting real quick. Share the live. It's about to get
What you think that?
uncut.
What you think that's about, Jonah?
Hey, listen. All I know is that I got
Uh-oh.
I got the flyer last
Yo,
week.
yo, yo.
Marcus, I got
What
the
do,
I
what
got the flyer
do?
from the Marcus. What did it do to Marcus? And I saw the
Hey,
flyer.
man.
I was getting ready to go ahead and fly it for the game. You know what I'm saying? Book my ticket to come up there and watch Miami Gardens Ravens take on Ravens. So I was ready to book the ticket, live stream it, and man, I guess all of a sudden something changed. So we got to ask Coach because I don't know what changed from when y'all had the game scheduled.
Man, one thing y'all know, man. Coach Lamar put this schedule out before anybody in the world. Hey, look, we open them dates and we let everybody pick your date. Pick your date you want, right? And we
Yeah,
do that year to year. Rod Mack picked his date. Rod Mack got on the line with me on a three-way call with a rep from their league, whatever the league called. Got this date cleared.
yeah,
The Florida top dog got the
yeah,
date cleared to come to see Rap Breeze on the 12th. I get a call on Wednesday. Well, I didn't even get a call. I called Rod Mack on Wednesday just because I was hearing that they weren't coming.
wow,
On a Wednesday, that's all right. That's all right in the world today.
Oh man.
Make it make sense, man. Make it make
So
sense,
Coach,
wow.
man.
so Flanagan, what was? I mean, obviously, when you have that type of phone conversation, there had to have been a reason. And if it's a reason that you don't want to speak on publicly, I respect it. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, no. The reason was something that don't add up for me. You know what I mean? Because, like I say, we had a three-way conversation with your league already.
gotcha,
So
gotcha.
for you to hit me with a league game now, come on, like that don't
Well,
add up.
I do know. Now, the three-way conversation with the league is key because I do know that the FYFL would not allow their teams to play outside their league once league play has started. But it sounds like from what you explaining that the league signed off on it before y'all even locked it in.
No doubt about it. No
Yeah.
doubt about it. But this what I got.
Okay, yeah,
This
you
what
got.
I got. All right. I got a big plan. I got a big idea. Y'all know me. Can we take this YNC showcase on the road? Let's pull up on them. Let's go to their doorstep. We on that type time around here. Let's pull up at Miami Garden Ravens doorstep on the YNC showcase.
I like it. I
So you
like
trying to
it.
go to
Let's
you trying to
do
go
it.
to South Florida before December?
No doubt about it. One of my favorite cities. Can't wait to get in the sand.
You hey, you ain't even got to get an Airbnb. You could have all the kids stay at Jonah's 10-bedroom mansion.
Oh, here we
Hey,
go.
man. Even better, man. Even better, man. Hey, look. Hey, do you got room for the trophies? You got room for the trophies? Can I
Ooh,
can I bring them?
ooh.
Can I bring them with me? Can I bring them with me?
They're gonna charge you too much on the airline bringing all that luggage, man. You can't bring all of it with me. Yeah, man. So
Nah, man.
listen.
Let's entertain that, man. Let's stop letting them run. Fuck it. Let's kick their
So
door in.
look. So look, we might get us a bus, Clay, that say, road trip like John Madden used to do it. First stop Detroit,
Sir.
second stop South Beach, and then wherever else they want to book them tickets.
Nah,
Here's what
first stop. No. Let's flip it. Let's first stop Miami.
right.
Let's second stop Detroit.
Got you.
Hey,
Uh,
here's my question though, DeMarcus. When you gonna start selling that brand of cologne that I had on last week? Ain't shit. When you gonna start
hey
selling that
man,
shit?
we're getting it bottled now, man. We got Versace working on the bottling of it now, man. All right, we trying to get a partner deal, NIL
Right.
partner deal with Versace, and the ain't shit cologne's on the way, man.
By DeMarcus playing a game.
Oh
Oh
man.
man. Oh, that's crazy. So
Somebody call out now,
so
but
man, look, so after watching film on all these teams, what's going on with this? Is the disco light going on over there? What we doing? Clap on, clap off?
somebody calling me. I don't know. Somebody trying to call
Okay.
in.
So look, let's talk about the Detroit. We haven't had you on the show since then. Let's talk about Southfield in the Rare Breeds game. We've seen it going back and forth. We saw you on the live at halftime. You didn't want the game to stop. You was begging for it to continue. Your boys to stay inside the scene. It was a 6-0 game. What did you start seeing that you felt that the second half y'all really dominated as y'all yards started piling up towards the end of the second quarter? We saw the runs that was tighter early in that game started getting bigger for y'all. What adjustment did y'all see where you felt y'all would have even broke the game up wider than what it was?
To be honest, man, like some games we actually do just start slower. Like, and I think that was just one of them games where we had to figure out, what their plan was as far as like our screenplay and stuff like that. And so, like a heavyweight fighter, man, it just took us a second to fill them out. So, but once to be honest, man, we had really, really figured it out. Like, we was really ready to start pushing the gas on them. And man, one of our biggest strength of our offense alone, man, is our defense. Like we're gonna make you be in a situation on fourth down where you got to decide: do I really want to kick to these people, or how do
Yeah,
I kick to them? Like, so being that if you do decide to punt to either one of them guys who back there, man, they the most dangerous people in the world. And
yeah,
and even with special teams alone, just as 12-year-olds, you got to be able to execute a punt with some real pass rush pressure trying to get to it. So when you get to trying to directional kick to out of bounds and all that, like
yeah.
it
They
could
still
be
gonna try to
hazardous
get
for us.
that.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right. But the one thing in that game, man, that made me understand that we was in complete control was another special teams play. Actually, it really wasn't the kick return. It was we had a snap over the head of our punter, and
yeah.
man, cool, chill, picked it up, got it off, and they was
I
able to
saw
start
that in
that
the
drive.
end zone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they was able to start that
yeah,
drive on the 20-yard line. So
yeah.
if you can't get nothing moving on the 20-yard line, man, you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So tell me about this kid. Don't get a lot of credit because he ain't the sexy kid on the team. He don't do backflips. You know what I'm saying? He don't get to do this on film. Talk about Nori, man. Like smallest kid on your team. If this kid don't look like he played 8U, I don't know what he look like. But when he's on the football field, he probably got the biggest heart, got the biggest courage, and then he just can see over the line of scrimmage. And a lot of people, I see other media companies say that the Rare Breeds throw 50-50 balls. I see the kid throw nothing but dimes. But if you look at the video that we have on highlight now that everybody went crazy for, it got over 1 million views. This kid throws in a tight window on one of those plays between three players. Another one in the end zone when you guys had defeated DEA in the end zone between another. So he's throwing dimes. Tell me what's the difference, and you've been coaching this kid, if I'm not mistaken, like 3 years now. What have you seen from now to then as one of the best passers at the 12 and under age group?
Man, I've had the privilege to work with Nori, man, since 8U. Well, since in the 8U season, 8U 7-on-7, but like 9U tackle football. And man, Pocket Rocket, man, Mr. Pocket Rocket himself, man, like small guy, man, but man, the comprehension of the game is next level, man. It's next level, and the precision. Like he's actually a precision passing guy. Like definitely
Yeah,
with like the screen game and stuff like that, man. The location of balls that he put out there, man, like second to none.
great.
Second to none.
Yeah,
Definitely at that age and to be able to stand in there with huge giants coming at you, man, at his at his statue, but piece of iron, man. A real
yeah.
live piece of iron, man. And nah, man,
DeMarcus,
we blessed to have him. We blessed to have
Coach,
him,
let me
man.
ask you this question, man. So right now, you are going for your fifth YNC national championship in a row over
Yes,
two
sir.
different teams.
Yes, sir.
What do you think? And if we're being honest, nobody has ever done that before with two different teams. What do you think you have figured out? And the reason I asked you have figured out because I've been standing next to you before when you've been at a YNC when you was ABA and things didn't go your way, right?
Mm-hmm.
What have you figured out from then to now that is the recipe to your success?
Um, Man, I've been blessed to learn actually from my boys too, man. Like
Yeah,
they've taught me a lot as far as like a lot of times as coaches, we work on a lot of stuff, but we get in a game and don't do it.
Yeah,
Like that's like a real valuable lesson I learned from like the older group where they got tired of just practicing it. Like, coach, let's run this. Like, let's run it. Like we practiced it. And so when I say that, it's just like the shoot your bullets. Shoot your bullets. A lot of people their nuts get tight, man, in those big games.
yeah.
We relax, man. We're a real relaxed sideline. We intense because we coach. We love it. But as far as like being stressed out about a possession or two or nothing, man, that just ain't never been us. Like, a lot of people look at it and be like, hey, well, you got B5 and you got BA, so you shouldn't be. But man, it's football at the end of the day. Like, just being able to keep an even still chill on the sideline and shoot your bullets. Like, don't hold back, man. We let them fly. So I think that's been one of the most valuable things I learned really like from my boys. So
now we
Yeah.
give a lot of credit to these wide receivers and quarterbacks. Talk about number 44 on your football team, bro. Defensively,
yeah.
what does he bring to the Rare Breeds? Like defense, the swag, the attitude. What does he bring to the table?
Man, my only my only disappointment is that with this man is that we didn't push record the time he came. Like Percy Wilson, man, unblockable machine right now, man. He's really, really locked in and in his bag. But man, I wish you could have seen him day one. Like, didn't have a clue. And like to see his growth over the time he's spent with us, man, is unreal, man. It's unreal.
That's the
Like,
best thing about coaching right there. Best thing
yeah,
about coaching.
yep,
Yep.
yep, yep. So like, man, it's he a problem, man. And he's getting better every week. That's what's crazy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's still in the early stages of becoming a Sunday guy, man. They gonna call his name on Sundays. So
Big
so
person.
Percy Wilson Jr., man. Well,
So,
keep
Coach,
that name
who is
that
the
name on.
hey Mark? Who the rapper on your team, bro? Who was getting it down with Michi? Who's that rapper, dog?
Man, that's Big Baby, man. Big Kincaid. That's 98.
What?
The one that
What
the
number he
one
No.
wear,
you never
Coach?
Hey, look, the one you never see the jersey, you number. You just see his big stomach. Like that's that one, man. Nah, that's the big dog, man. Nah,
Hey,
man, he look
well,
good. He look
I
good.
gotta give a shout out to Trap House Meech and Big
For
Baby,
sure.
man. Them niggas
For
went
sure.
platinum on the video, man. Look, if
Hey,
Oh,
y'all
for
know what
so
sure.
platinum is, you spend a million spins, you platinum, boy. My dog's
hey
Nah, for
officially
Mark,
sure.
platinum around
Mark.
this thing, bro. You understand
Hey
what I'm
Mark,
saying?
Did Big Baby write his verse down or he freestyled it?
That's what
Which
I
one
want to
is it?
know. Hey, Meech on the line, Meech.
I can't say. I gotta ask him on that one if he wrote it or
Well,
not.
Meech should
All
let
him
us
though.
know. Meech.
Hey,
Oh, Meech
all
said
him
he
though
had to
for
do it.
sure.
Nah, Meech said he had to go ahead and write it down for him. Meech a songwriter. Y'all know that. Meech saying it right now. He gave him the lyrics real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
But when
yeah.
Meech say salute Meech, man, y'all got a million spins, my man. Y'all platinum around here, bro. You know what I'm saying? We trying to go double platinum.
Bro,
You feel me? So
nah, that's super.
just tell me the frustration mark about you got all these kids like that look like hungry kids do, right? When you're in the huddle, all
Mm-hmm.
the eyes big at you because they want to play football on Saturday. They're aching to play. How painful is it for you to have to go to them kids and say, man, we ain't playing this weekend because these dudes scared, man? Like, what's the feeling to go to the kids and when the team back out, they not playing? How you communicate that to them to keep their head up?
Um, man, that's tough, man. Just cause they work hard. You know what I mean? Like we work hard on preparation. Like our preparation really is real underrated. Where like our kids know what other teams are doing before they get there. So like we
Yeah,
work hard in prepping. So nah, man, that's hard. That's a tough conversation at times, man. But I'm a glass full. I'm a glass half full type guy. So like we just look at it as a week to get healthy, a chance to practice all together. We practice Saturday now, so
yeah,
unfortunately we get
yeah,
better. So
yeah.
so now the guy who's next. So at the end of the day, you gotta
Oh,
play
Trap said,
eventually.
hold on. Trap said,
Like,
Baby wrote his own verses, so all right, he definitely pulled up on it with me. All right, okay, Big Baby. You know what I'm
oh yeah,
saying?
now
Okay.
Big Baby one of them ones, man. Big Baby one of them ones, man.
And another
He's
kid, I don't know
special.
his name, Mark, but number 10 is a baller defensively for you, man. I don't know his name, bro, but
That's that
I've been
defensive
watching him
end that
rise up
impressed the shit
lately.
out of me in Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm
That boy's
watching
a
him on a
dog.
Yeah,
lot of plays,
Yeah.
man, and he hitting with velocity, and he got a nose for the ball, man. Who is number 10 on your
I mean,
team?
he's actually new to the bunch, man. Jay Muir, he's from Columbus. Um, came in from day one, man, just working, just working.
Yeah,
He pinned his ears back and just been grinding. Don't care where
yeah,
you put him at, just let him go run and play ball.
yeah,
He's just
yeah.
a relentless motor, man. Relentless motor, man.
Yep.
Yep.
So, man, we'll go ahead and try to chop it up with my homeboys down here in South Florida and see if we can make a showcase game. Tell them they can bring the city up. Let some of that gate go to their league, man. For go back to the league. We want to play some football. Split it half with Mark. Y'all split the other half with the league. Make it a game for them. Give it to Rob Mac team. We start first thing. Detroit. We'll come up to Detroit as well, man. Look, my thing is this, and I'm gonna say it to y'all coaches. These kids are 12 years old. Some will come back for 13U. Some may not. Some may go to middle school. Don't get in the way of letting these games be played because these are great teams. Let these kids have their memories. Please don't let politics, don't let league play, don't let brands get in the way. We don't care. We don't care if it's an AYF game or FY, or it doesn't matter what game it is, as long as the kids can play. We'll get out the way. So we just want to just make sure politics don't stop it. These are great teams. Respect to the Ravens. Respect to Southfield. Respect to Brixie. All these teams, in our opinion, are great teams. We just want to see you guys play the game, no matter where it's at. And Coach, we wish you guys stay healthy. We feel as long as you guys stay healthy, you could possibly one of the greatest youth football teams to go down in history. We love how you got those kids coached up. We love how y'all let them have fun. I haven't seen a team like this in a long time. I would arguably say, Coach, this team has the potential to be better than your 13U team. That's saying a lot with EJ and the boys on it. A
Yeah.
couple of years ago that played at IMG. And the only reason I say that defensively, this team just biting. It's crazy to see where they don't give up a yard, where they don't give up an inch, and then just also to see how Nori just has become a general of this team. He's a quiet leader. He don't get the attention. I know you guys got B5 that just dumped on the team. He's an attention getter. Ain't gonna lie. You look at his statue, he's a star in the making. You know what I'm saying? And you still got other
Yeah.
three wide receivers that's bringing in touchdowns left and right. And who could forget about Watts? Watts been doing this for a minute. You understand what I'm saying? So when you got a run game, you got a pass game, you got dynamic wide receivers, you got defensive stars. It's a lot of star power on the thing. You heard what Big Baby said on it. Shout out to Coach Mark, the prime time of Little League football. So man, y'all spending millions of spins. You got a rapper on your team. You got superstars on the team. Man, I mean, what's next for y'all? Man, so like I said, man, we wish y'all the best of luck. Whatever we could do on y'all end to get y'all some football games, we with it. You feel me?
For sure, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
100%. All right, man. So Clay, before we head out, I wish my man, I know this probably catching AG. Let's see how good he is, man. Let's go out to with one of the Rare Breed videos for our outro, man. You got one of them, AG. Let's see how quick you could go back to.
Come on, man. You know, AG stay strapped. AG stay strapped.
Oh man. Well, you know what, man? I'm Jonah Woolard, Clayton Guillory, man. We kept it clean no week. No Vern jokes. We kept it clean, man. You know, we're getting better. We're getting our life right with the Lord. You feel me? We did not give out any Bad to Beyond coupons this week, so we kept it good. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But listen, all jokes aside, man, y'all tune in this weekend. It's going to be bananas in Houston. We get ready for the DMV, and we get ready to drop those national rankings that don't get no bigger than better than on Football Uncut. Clayton Guillory, Jonah Woolard right here. Same place, same time next week on Generation Next.
When they stepping, it don't compare to me. Solid concrete when you speaking on that Rare Breed. Hey, yeah, all I know is we got what it take. Taking food up off your plate. Playing fake could get you ate up by them apes. Hey, yeah, bet I crowd that line and watch your core, have you crying. Hey, mess around, get blindsided by Ryan. Hey, yeah, cut the lights off, bet to a road gon' shine. Hey, Nori another story, lil' bro always on time. Hey, yeah, on the money, lil' bro always drop down. Hey, we just came to play, ain't no getting away from Monte. Yeah, game day, I'm with big play, B.A. Jaden, he the one that they rewinding on that replay. Yeah, hey, RJ and Dredd, who gon' beat that? Mason, he the one who coming right behind D-Mac. Yeah, hey, 14K, that guy, he a lie. If he say that he ain't never heard of Ty. Hey, yeah, hey, catch up with the ones I see going running past you. I don't really see no one who going hard as Badger. Big Ray and Rita, they gon' step with me for sure. Big baby come with Kato. Hey, if they ain't screaming apes when they stepping, it don't compare to me. Solid concrete when you speaking on that Rare Breed. Hey, yeah, all I know is we got what it take. Taking food up off your plate. Playing fake could get you ate up by them apes. Hey,
defense make a play. Remember we won't break. Brand new yellow tape, catch about it for 48. Percy, K nephew, and Pancake. K2, D2 and J, they on the way. Mellow, B3-ish, gon' roll the tape. Better lock the gate, gorilla on my back play. Rubbery, going banana, we going 8. I'm Big Baby, they call me the biggest 8. We gon' rap the 8. Better play it safe. Me, can't forget about Aiden and Snappy J. OG Wells, I promise you they on the way. I'm with Showtime, tell him it's showtime. Tell him it's go time. O-line, D-line, no line, no shine. Grind until it's no time. Shout out to Colt Mark, the Little League prime time.
Apes when they stepping, it don't compare to me. Solid concrete when you speaking on that Rare Breed. Hey, yeah, all I know is we got what it take. Taking food up off your plate. Playing fake could get you ate up by them apes.